What's up, guys? This is Real Time Glover. Today we are going to be talking about more of the new cards from Hearthstone's latest expansion, Rastakhan's Rumble. I am super excited to see some new cards. If only Blizzard would actually give us some instead of releasing like one a week. Because I'm getting impatient, Blizzard. Like, why are you blue balling us? We've been like, God, they're releasing like one card a week. Like, not even exaggerating, man. I don't know. Maybe, is this how it usually is? I can't remember. I feel like usually, like, in the beginning, they release like one card a day ish. And then, like, after like a week, they start releasing like one or two cards. And then, like, they start releasing like a lot more. And then, like, the last week, they like dump all of them. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting impatient. I think this might be our punishment for not playing enough of the Boomsday cards. Like, we played Giggling Inventor and like a couple of the Druid cards. And now they're like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You want to play 10 cards in the new meta? Here's the good ones. Buy the pre-release expansion pack with like the 50 new cards. You don't know what any of them are, but buy them and be patient. I don't know. Fuck you, Blizzard. Bring Broad back. Just kidding. I love you, Blizzard. Please give us more cards. Okay, let's go over the new cards. We got like 6. Look, I can do math. We got 6 new cards. Alright, so this is the first one we got after the original reveal of the cards. This is the one that, what's his face, Raunchy, released in his, like, video, Time Out. So your hero is immune until next turn. I'm very excited for this card. This is for Paladins. Basically proactive Ice Block, except it feels more fair than Ice Block, just because like Ice Block you just play on turn 3 and you're just good until you die. This is like you have to kind of assess when you're gonna take damage, and this gives you some more time. There's a lot of utility to this card. I think it's really cool. Like, your opponent could just have like this huge ass board, and you time out. They can't attack you for the 20 damage they were going to, and you can just, stall out a turn. You can just play this, draw a bunch of cards or something, and then like draw into your board clears. This just buys you so much time. And it's a heal for so much because you can play this and then like weapon into something. And I think an Uther of the Ebon Blade deck could really use this. It's hard to say whether this is going to beat out like Odd Paladin because that deck's just broken. I don't know if this is like gonna help help a control OTK Paladin take over the meta, but this is really good. I've seen some people have a lot of success with OTK Paladin, and like without this card, but with this card, that deck is just insane. This is a guaranteed 2 extra turns. Like, how much more could you want? This card's insane. I cannot. At the very least, this will be bonkers and wild. I mean, because that's where combo decks flourish. I mean, if you can, this is good for like an anything can happen Paladin. This is good for not even like a combo Paladin, just a control Paladin. This is a great card. Yeah, just so much utility. Really, what Paladin's looking for. So I really like this card. It's hard for me to imagine a world where that doesn't get played. Now, after Uther of the Ebon Blade rotates out, which will probably be in like March or April of next year. It'll rotate out with the first expansion of 2019. I think this card is going to significantly decrease in power because that is the single card that pushes for OTK Paladin to be a thing right now. Without that card, I don't know if this is going to see a lot of play. But regardless, this is just a super powerful card. Really exciting stuff. And then the next one is Ticket Scalper. So when I first saw this card, I just immediately thought, oh, okay, trash, arena trash, whatever, move on, give us better cards. But then, I've been looking at this card, I've been seeing what other people have been saying. So it's 4 mana, 5/3. Obviously terrible stats, dies to a Flame Imp. It's a 4-drop. But its overkill works on your opponent's turn. So if this is almost always going to get the overkill, right? Like anything that's like not on turn 4, most things don't have 5 health. I mean, sure, there's like what's his face? Tar Creeper. But like other than Tar Creeper, which if this trades with a Tar Creeper, you're happy, right? Like that's a big health guy. So you're cool with that if this guy trades with a Tar Creeper. What you're worried about is this trading with a 1 or a 2-drop, which is probably going to do. But if it trades with a 1 or a 2-drop, you're gonna get 2 cards. So would you play a 4 mana kill a 1-drop? Like so it's basically like 4 mana, deal 2 to 3 damage, draw 2 cards. That's really strong. I mean, Arcane Intellect's 3 mana, and every mage plays that, pretty much. Besides Big Mage. But that's a strong effect. Like, for 3 mana, draw 2 cards, and then kill a guy. That's really good. This card has so much competition with, like other synergies and, all these decks that have, like, every card in them is, like, perfectly tuned to the synergy it's going for. And this doesn't really fit in much. So, I don't know. It's hard to say if this is going to be, like, if this is going to find room in decks, but, like, man, this card is, like, I've gone back and forth as to whether this card's trash or not. Like I said, when I first saw it, I completely dismissed it, but this card has some potential, man. If you're ahead on board, this card's nuts. I mean, sure, you could, like, someone could just remove it, with, like, a spell, and then you're like, shit, okay. Like, if this dies to a Frostbolt, you're sad. But, like, if you're against Zoo, you're going to lose a little bit of tempo, because they're going to trade with their 1 or their 2-drop, but you're going to draw 2 cards. You're not going to be too sad about that. This is like, I don't know. I'm having trouble evaluating this card, but it's very powerful. I just don't know if it's like, it's gonna make the cut. It's nuts in Arena. Like, I'm sure about that. It's nuts in Arena. Like, 5/3, draw 2 cards. That, like, this is gonna be a top tier Arena card for sure. As far as constructed, it might be good. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this card can do. I think it's a deceivingly, it might be bad, but it's very deceiving how it's set up. Like we're all everyone who plays Hearthstone, they're trained to see like 4 mana 5/3, like, oh, that sucks. But like overkill draw 2, that is really powerful. And if you're playing like against an odd paladin and they trade in like if they have to trade in like a 1/1 and a 2/1, you're drawing 4 cards. I mean, that's not gonna happen too much probably, but like if you draw 4 cards with that guy, holy shit, that's a bargain. 4 mana, draw 4, kill 2, like kill 2 token guys, like that's good, man. Like this just makes all your board clears easier to find. It gives you some stall. I think this card is very interesting. Hard to say if I actually think it's like good, but I like it. The next one is a warrior card, heavy metal. Summon a random minion with cost equal to your armor up to 10. This card sucks. Like I have no idea what world this card would be good. It's 6 mana, so it doesn't fit in Odd Warrior. Scalper, yep, is the same effect, but for 8 mana, you get a 4/8. And that card doesn't see a lot of play outside of like kind of like Mimi, big warrior, boom ship decks. And this has no place in that deck because you don't have a minion in your hand to draw with a boom ship. So this has very little synergy with anything. You won't get enough armor usually because you don't have like the odd warrior hero power. This card is not exciting to me. I don't think it's gonna be good at all. I mean, sure, you get a Tyrantus on turn 6 once in a while. That's kind of cool. But I don't see it. Whatever. I don't think it's gonna see play. People might try it on like week 1, but I don't see it. Now, Belligerent Gnome, neutral to 1/4 taunt, but if your opponent has 2 or more minions, gain +1 attack. So 2 mana 1/4 taunt it's playable. It's not good, but it's playable. 2/4 taunt, that's pretty good. That's strong on turn 2. But how often are you going to be able to curve this out on turn 2 and then get the +1 attack? If Odd Paladin is a thing, which it is, but if it like stays like a top tier deck, this is a good card because they're going to turn 2 hero power and then you're going to play Belligerent Gnome. And then you're pretty happy about that because you had a 2/4 taunt. So it's going to easily trade with their 1/1s and probably you're going to be able to kill like, their raid leader or, whatever like 2 health guy that they play like I don't know. I think this card's pretty good. I think it's going to see some play. I'm not like particularly excited about it. It's kind of nice that like, they're printing a 2-drop that's like kind of good because it's been a while since we've seen a good 2-drop. As far as like in aggro decks, I don't know if this is gonna beat out Keleseth. I highly doubt it. Maybe after Keleseth rotates out, this could be a little more interesting. But I think for like more of like a control or an anti-aggro deck, like this is pretty good. I mean, it's not much to say. It's if you're facing down like a really zooey aggro meta, like this is a good card. If you're facing another control deck, it's okay. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a pretty good card, but it's not particularly interesting. But yeah, it's pretty good. All right, now these last 2 priest cards I am hyped about. These are really cool cards, so I'm gonna bring both of them up. Wait, because they basically go together really well. All right, so first we have a 1 mana priest minion, Spirit of the Dead. Stealth for 1 turn. After a friendly minion dies, shuffle a 1-cost copy of it into your deck. So, cool. Interesting effect. Only 1 mana, so pretty easy to throw in. Priest likes shuffling stuff into their deck. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of tired. Priest likes shuffling guys into their deck. They have, a good amount of draw and control and stally stuff. So, shuffling a big guy into your deck feels pretty good as a priest. Especially 1 mana. Like, that's good. Priest already has some combo potential. So if you can kill like a Malygos or a Velen, and then get an extra one in your deck, and then you can play a 1 mana Malygos with a Mind Blast and a Mind Blast, and Shadow Visions into a 3rd Mind Blast. You can do some pretty cool stuff with this card. Then you got Bwonsamdi. I'm gonna fuck this up. Bwonsamdi the Dead. Battlecry. Draw 1-cost Battlecry. Draw 1-cost minions from your deck until your hand is full. 7 mana, 7/7. Holy shit. I fucking love this card. This is so cool. I love cards like this. This is so exciting. I started off Hearthstone as like a priest player. Like, I loved priest. I have like over 1,000 wins with priest. And I kind of like, I got a little bored of priest just because they haven't really like, I'm not into the whole like combo thing. I kind of like value, that's like more my style. But this card, I love these kind of like value cards. I mean, yes, this also is really good in like a combo deck. Because like I was saying with this guy, Spirit of the Dead, I mean, you can kill off your Malygos, you can kill off your Velen. This guy will draw those out. But I just like, I want to fit this card into every priest deck until this rotates out. I love this card. It's so cool. Like, you can just put in like these 1 mana guys into your deck, which will like help you immensely in the early game. And then like you drop this 7/7 and you can draw like, even if you don't pull off combos with Spirit of the Dead, you can draw like 5 cards. It's awesome. Like, you can get I mean, if you just run like Northshire Clerics, you run the 1 mana 1/1 what is it called? I am so bad with card names. It's a priest elemental. Yeah, let's just look this up. Yeah, Crystalline Oracle. Yeah, if you run Northshire Clerics, Crystalline Oracles, even Chameleos, that's like good. You're good. Like, you play a 7/7 that draws, maybe you drew 2 of these guys in the beginning, so you might draw, 2. You might draw a Northshire Cleric, Chameleos, and like another Crystalline Oracle. Like, that's really good. You might even run like Fireflies. And when you run like all this early game in priest, in the back of your mind, you're like, well, I mean, it's good early game, but it sucks late game. But this card, sorry, not this card, not timeout. This card makes those 1-drops, like your fears of like drawing them late game and they're just dead draws. This guy solves that problem. Like, he gets almost all your 1-drops out of the deck. So the 1-drops you get in the early game, you're happy about, because early game, and then you play this guy and fills your hand with, you know, little guys that can impact the board. You can even start running like what is it? Ice Shard or whatever his name is, Ice to Meet You. The 2/1 that freezes a guy. Like that's really good late game, and you basically got him for free because of Bwonsamdi the Dead. And if you get it early game, then it freezes something. And it's a 2/1 and it competes with the board. So like this just incentivizes you to run some more 1-drops in Priest, and I love that. That's really cool. I love these kind of cards that are like they incentivize you to play a little more early game, but you're not punished late game. Like you don't sacrifice value in the deck for running early game because you just have this guy. This guy just turns your early game into like card draw value. And sure you might like fatigue a little faster, but I mean who cares? Priest already has so much stuff that like shuffles guys into your decks. I mean if you run like Archbishop, you're never gonna like fatigue this guy. Even if this guy draws you 6 cards, you're not gonna fatigue if you're like the right kind of deck, because you can just you're going to Archbishop, your Spirit of the Dead. Oh yeah, Spirit of the Dead is a 1-drop, so you can draw your Spirit of the Dead if you didn't get it early in the game, and it's just good. Another combo that's really interesting with these guys is Xerx's Cloning Gallery, because you can use Xerx's Cloning Gallery, like your Velen, your Malygos, your Radiant Elementals, and then you can Spirit Lash. Oh, and then you'll get your Spirit of the Dead. Then you can Spirit Lash, and kill all your own guys, and then Spirit of the Dead will shuffle all of them into your deck. The only problem is I'm not sure if you Spirit Lash and kill your own Spirit of the Dead in the Spirit Lash, I don't know if Spirit of the Dead will shuffle them in if it dies in it. I don't think it will, but I'm not sure. So yeah, that's kind of weird. But if you have Malygos on board, your Spirit Lash is going to kill everything. What you could do is if you get like a Xerx's Cloning Gallery and you don't get Malygos, if you just get like Velen, then you can play Spirit of the Dead, like a normal Spirit of the Dead. Then you can Xerx's Cloning Gallery, get out your Velen. Then you can Spirit Lash for 2, which will kill everything except for your 1 Spirit of the Dead, so everything will be shuffled into the deck. And then you can Bwonsamdi all the stuff you just killed, and then they're all 1 mana, and then you can, you know, if you have a bunch of 1 mana combo enabler, combo kind of minions, then like, if you're Priest, you really have like, you really don't have much of a cap on your damage. With like Shadow Visions into like 2 more Mind Blast plus your original Mind Blast plus like, you know, your 1 mana Velen, like 1 mana Velen with 4 Mind Blasts is 4 your damage. Like, that's all you need, you know. So yeah, absolutely insane cards, both on a combo level and an aggro level, or not an aggro level, combo level, and like an anti-aggro level, and like just a control level. Really, really exciting cards. And one more thing. Is this it? No, not Void Contract. Surrender to Madness, I think. And, hear me out, Surrender to Madness deck. You destroy 3 of your mana crystals on turn 3 and give all your mains in your deck +2/+2. So then you run a ton of 1-drops. They all get +2/+2. So then turn 4 you top deck a 1-drop. You play a 3/5 Northshire Cleric, or you know whatever, a 2/4 or a 2/5 Spirit of the Dead, or you know whatever 1-drops. You play a bunch of buffed 1-drops that synergize with Surrender to Madness, and they synergize with Bwonsamdi. So then when you do get to turn 9, which will be your 7 mana because you lost, or your turn 10 because you lost 3 mana crystals. God, that's awful. But you run all these buffed 1-drops. You can even run Keleseth too. Just a bunch of buffed 1-drops and Keleseth and whatever else, and then this guy will just draw your whole deck. And like, that's pretty good. So he actually synergizes really well with Serenade of Madness. This card still probably sucks ass, but if it's good, this guy's gonna help that deck out. So this guy's just doing everything for Priest, and I love it. So let me know what you guys think of my reviews, and you know, I really like doing these, even though, like I said, Blizzard is not giving us a whole lot to work with. But I really do love looking at these cards and theory crafting, you know, what they'll be good for. Even the ones that are like kind of a little weaker or a little less interesting, less flashy, like the what's his face, the gnome guy. Like, yeah, it's probably gonna be a good card, but like, there's not a whole lot of exciting synergy it has. But you know, even those kind of cards, it's interesting to think like, will they fit in decks, or I really like theory crafting with these cards. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if you like these kind of videos, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, you know the whole thing, you know the drill. But sweet. All right, thanks guys, peace.